Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a video that I have been planning to film for a while but just haven't gotten around to it because yeah, it's a bit daunting. And as you can see from the title, it's my sleek eyeshadow palette collection. Because I remember when I started watching YouTube, or even when I've been watching YouTube for a while, I searched for like sleek makeup collection videos and like sleek eyeshadow collection videos because I was very into sleek shadows and I couldn't find many. I found one which I will link down below if I can find it. But yeah, and she also had a lot of palettes. But yeah, so I wanted to do my own this is all my eyeshadow palettes from Sleek Makeup, and I will just try to just show them to you, show swatches, and then yeah, basically just show them and talk a little bit about them. But yeah, we would be here the entire night if I would say more than a few things about every palette. But yeah, so I will talk a little bit about them, and then in the end I will give like my top 5 or so, or maybe top 3. I don't know. I will give you my favorites. And as you know, the Sleek Makeup has a range of palette. Maybe I should have started the video with this, but yeah, they have a range of palette that is called the I Divine palette. And they have a few palettes that are permanent to their collections, or their collection, so you can buy them at all times. But then a few times per year they come out with new palettes, like limited edition palettes. So yeah, just with a theme, or like a little collection with a theme, and sometimes it's just palettes and sometimes it's other things like lipsticks and stuff. But yeah, I'm mainly into sleek eyeshadow palettes. I have a few blushes and I have one lipstick, and yeah, I have a few of their like liquid lipsticks, but otherwise it's just all palettes. But yeah, as I said, I will start by showing you the ones that are permanent. So yeah, let's just get into it. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, they are, I searched on their website and I think they are 10.49 euros. And in Sweden you can get them for like between 130 and maybe 160 kroner. So yeah, I don't know what they are like in American dollars, but they are not that expensive. Maybe around like $12 or something like that. So yeah, I will just like grab from my pile. So here are all the permanent that I have. I don't have all of them. And here are all the limited edition ones. So yeah, I'm just going to grab the first one, and and all are going to be like sort of dirty, and yeah, I haven't taken the time to fix them or anything, or clean them. But yeah, the first one is the palette called Vintage Romance, and this is what it looks like. It's a really pretty, like a golden purplish palette, and if you like, I don't use this a lot, but if I do, I mainly do like a purple and gold look, because I think that is very pretty together. But it also have like a really warm transition shade, or like a crease shade right here, and then sort of like a cooler purples, yeah, and stuff. And maybe we can just like talk about it in this palette, but the Sleek palettes have a lot of different finishes, or the shadows have a lot of different finishes. And as you can see, these right here are sort of like all of these are metallic shades, and this one as well. They are all metallic shades, and they swatch like super metallic. Some you can use without like a setting spray or like wetting the brush, but some you have to use something to make them stick to your eye. So today I'm wearing like the turquoise on my eyes. It's a shadow from Sleek, and I haven't like used any like setting spray on my brush or anything, but I have used a primer underneath. So yeah, you can make all of them work. And I mean, I have so many of their palettes that is sort of, yeah, I don't know if I have to say that they are like, they are my favorites. They are not like my favorite eyeshadow formula, but they are for the price. Or like I've had all of these for a while now, and it's sort of a beginner shadow that is like good in price and yeah, easy to work with sort of. So I definitely think they are very, very good for what you get, and very, very good for a beginner, because they have a few palettes that are very like colorful, and if you're not sure if you want to play with color, it's like a perfect way to start, to buy one of these, because as I said, they are inexpensive. But yeah, they have the metallic finish right here, and this one is also metallic, and this one. But then they have like this shade. Oh, this one is sort of like a satiny, it is sort of shimmery, but you could probably use it in your crease also. But yeah, this one right here, it's a matte with glitters in it, and this one as well. This is like all matte, but these two are mattes. No, these three are mattes with glitter in them, and as long as you just like tap your brush in and then sort of, I don't know, you don't even have to tap it off, you just apply it to your eyes, the glitter won't transfer, so they basically perform just like mattes. So in this palette you have 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shimmers, and 1 sort of satiny shade. So that was the Vintage Romance palette. Sorry, I will try to be a bit quicker with other ones. So the next one we have here is the palette called Storm, which is probably my favorite palette. And I just spoiled it. But yeah, it's probably my favorite. In this you have like a lot of shimmery shades, and then you have a few mattes. So this one here is matte, and this one is matte. But what I like about this is that it has such a variety. As you can see from these shades here, they are sort of reddish, pinkish shades. So you can do a pink look. You can also do a goldish neutral look with these two right here, because this one is gold and this one is like a light champagne. But this one is more of like a warm tone gold, and this is more like cool tone gold. So you have two different options. But then you also have this like reddish brownish shade here, a sort of grey, I don't know, grey teal shades almost, which is like my favorite shade or color. And here is like a green, a blue, and then a matte brown. So this is a bit light. Both of these two are matte browns, but this is a bit lighter and this is a bit darker, and then you have like a black. So you can do a green look, a blue look, a like teal grayish look, a warm brown, a gold, another gold. Yeah, so you can like pull many different directions with just one palette, which I really enjoy, because the Vintage Romance palette, I only tend to do like one type of look when I use that palette. But when I use this palette, I go like, yeah, it can go like whichever direction. So that's one of my favorites. And then the next one is the Ultra Matte's version 2. So this is the dark one, and this is entirely matte shadows. And yeah, the quality is nice. It's a really nice matte palette, because you have your warm shades, which are very like hip right now. But then you also have your cool shades, your bluer shades, purple, green, yellow, white, another green. But this one is not very green, it's sort of like it's a very, very, very dark green. But yeah, then here you also have like warmer brown, and then you have like a darker warmish purple, almost like a burgundy. It translates almost like a burgundy, if you can see, like a purplish, maybe like a, oh, it's really like a purplish burgundy, can you say that? Like a plumish burgundy. So yeah, I really like this palette as well. And then we have Enchanted Forest, which I think is a new palette that is permanent to their collection, which looks like this. And this is also one of my favorites. I love this palette. It's such a pretty palette because it too can go in like many different collections and directions, sorry. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has 4 mattes and the rest are shimmery, and they all have 12 like shades in them, so 8 of them are shimmery. And this one also have like a bronzy shade, a blue, like a pinky, and then like more of an periwinkle icy blue. And this one is a matte, sort of like a pinky purple, and then you have a shade here to just set your eyeshadow base. And then you have a gold, a teal, my favorite color again, but just a bit lighter, like a silvery, almost teal. Then you have a dark purple, and then you have like a it's a bit more, almost like the one in the Storm where you have the teal gray, but it's more green than teal, so it's almost like a silvery or like a grayish green. And then we have this shade right here, which is just a like blackened, I don't know how to say it, but it translates like a muddy color on the eye. So this one I would not recommend, but all the other shades are really nice. So yeah, I recommend this palette as well. That was the Enchanted Forest palette. And then the next one is the original palette, which looks like this. I think this was their first. And this is perfect for like spring and summer with like greens and blues and like lighter pinks, and then like your copper and like a purple. I really like this palette as well. I haven't played around with it as much as I have with some of the others, like the Vintage Romance I used more, and the Storm, and also the Enchanted Forest. Yeah, I've used all the ones I mentioned before. More than this one. But yeah, I really like this one, and I'm hoping I will like pull this out more. Maybe I will just leave it here on my desk so that I will reach for it more. And then the next one is the palette called Oh So Special, which I also know is like a favorite from their collection. It's not my favorite, but it has a really nice, like, you can set your, it's more of an all-in-one palette, because you can set your eyeshadow base, and then you have like a light shade for your crease and transition, and then you have some matte shades that you can deepen it with. You have they're sort of similar, but this one is a bit warmer than this one, so you can go 2 directions, and then you have your black to deepen it up, and then you just have a like light matte pink and a peach. So it's sort of like the, if you want to go with the Too Faced peach palette vibes, you can go with this one. But then you also have like your darker shades to deepen it up, and you have some shimmer shades. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mattes, and this one is super pretty. This shade right here, it's a like a pinkish purplish shade, which looks like that. You can barely see it. But it's almost like a pinky purple with some gold in it. So you know the lipstick from Colourpop, which is called Flitter, I believe. Like they're metallic. It's a pink with a purple in it. And then they also released like a shadow, which I can't remember what it's called. But it's the same, like pink with gold glitters in it. So yeah, this is what Oh So Special looks like. And then the next one is the Nude palette they have, and this is what it looks like. It's a really good like nude palette, because you have your cool tone, like crease shade, cool tone crease shade, like this is more transition and this is more crease, and then you have like your standard bone shade to set your primer. And if you want to go with a warmer transition, you can go with this one, and then your crease here, and then you have your champagne to just put all over the lid or like in your inner corner. And then you have like different options to darken up your outer corners. So as you can see, it's sort of divided. So this is the light road row, and this is like the darker row. And I like this as well. I just haven't like reached for it because I have so many neutral eyeshadows. And I also like, I think the cool tone shadows are a bit too cool tone and the warm tones are a bit too warm tone. So if you want to buy a neutral palette, I would say go with like another brand maybe, like Morphe, or I haven't tried Morphe's eyeshadow, but like Morphe, or even like a more high-end palette, because I think those, if they are shades that you know you will use every day, it's better to like go for something a bit more expensive or so. And then the next palette is the Sunset palette, which is filled with shimmery shades. This is the only one that is matte, and you have like your gorgeous red tone shades and like a very pretty gold, and then you have like your pops of colors. It's not my favorite palette, but it's the one I've had the longest, because it was such a hype over this like eyeshadow palette when I started with, or when I started watching YouTube. So yeah, this is what that one looks like. And as I said, that was the Sunset palette. And then the next one is the Garden of Eden palette. And I will have all the palettes linked down below in the order I'm mentioning them. But yeah, this next is the Garden of Eden, and all these are still like permanent to their collection. But this is the Garden of Eden palette, which has a row of like greens with a sort of cool tone brown, and then you have a row of sort of this one is almost like a gold, but then you have these cool tone almost purpley taupe shades, and then you have a warm brown. Again, it's sort of like a very dark brown, and then you have a another like more cool tone brown that is matte, and then you have a really warm tone brown that is also matte. So yeah, and then you have all your different like shades of green you could ever want. And this one is matte, and this green here is also matte, but the other are shimmer, like these three are shimmer. So yeah, I really like this palette as well, and I think that don't be like afraid to go for this palette, because you have the gold and you have all these neutrals right here, and then if you want you can have like a pop of color. So I really like that one as well. And then the last one that I have that are permanent for their collection is this one, which is the Ultra Matte version 1, so the lighter mattes. And this is what it looks like. And this one I have used quite a bit, actually, because I really like bright shades, and whenever I do something like a sort of a, try to do like a face painting or something like that, I always reach for this palette. But yeah, I think this is like, if I would recommend one of the palettes in here, like that I'm showing you, it would probably be this one, because I really like the shades, and it's an affordable way to play with colors, and also like you get 12 shades in sort of smaller pans, so it's not like super overwhelming, it's just a nice palette. So yeah, that was all the palettes I have that are in the permanent collection. And now we're moving into those that are limited edition. But the first three I will mention are still available on their website. And the first one is this On the Horizon palette, which is a super pretty palette. You have your oranges, your greens, your blues, like your almost like purpley pinks, and like a transition shade and a yellow shade. So yeah, I really like this palette. I haven't used it like enough to have a true opinion of every shade in this palette. Like there are, like this shade I haven't used at all, and I haven't used like these three at all either. So yeah, I can't say that I have like an opinion on this entire palette. But yeah, as you can see, it's super, super pretty. And this one is called Nordic Skies. No, sorry, On the Horizon. Now we will talk about Nordic Skies. So yeah, this one is called Nordic Skies, and this is what it looks like. I don't know, I just feel sort of when I look at this palette. Not that I don't like it, it's just that, I don't know, I'm not super into the shades in this palette. But it's super pretty. I just I don't know, sort of they are too, like, I wish there was more of a like contrast between them, so some darker and some lighter, because all the like accent colors are pretty light. But if you like that, it's a beautiful palette. Like this shade right here is pretty. I have to use that like on my inner corner sometime. Maybe I will do that tomorrow. Yeah, it's on the top there. Don't know if you will be able to. But yeah, this is, and as I said, this one is still available on their website. But it's a perfect palette if you want to go like with your neutral shades, but you still want the lighter pastel pop-up colors. So yeah, that's Nordic, guys. And then the last one that I think is still available is the Whimsical Wonderland collection, Fun of the Fair. And this is what it looks like. Super pretty palette as well. I haven't used this one a lot either, or like I haven't used these these 4 shades right here, which I have to get on and do because they are super pretty. Like with the theme, it's sort of like a pastel sort of palette, like a fair, Fun of the Fair. So yeah, that was that one. And then here comes a palette that is super duper old, which is the PPQ palette, and it's called Me, Myself and I. And I think this might have been released 2012. And I bought this like I bought this off of someone like secondhand. Can you say that about like makeup? But yeah, I bought this off someone, and I'm just like in love with this palette because of this red, and this shade right here is stunning. It's sort of like a dark burgundy shade. It's super pretty. It's sort of similar to the other shade I like showed you before. They look very similar on camera, but this one is warmer and this one is more purple. And yeah, this is what if you can see, it still has like this has like before they used to press their eyeshadows, they did like a grid in them. So yeah, this one's, yeah, you can see it now. This one still has that, which is what they used to do, so it's very old. But yeah, I really like this palette, and I feel like some of these palettes I really need to play around with more, because I haven't. So I'm feeling sort of inspired to dig all of them out again, because I don't have them in my like main eyeshadow palette drawer. I have them like in a separate. So yeah, I have to like grab for them more. But then we have the Arabian Night Smoke and Shadows limited edition. I think you might be able to still get this on some websites, but this is what that one looks like. It's a very darkish like eyeshadow palette, and I probably wouldn't recommend this one because like this, I feel like a lot of the shade are like darkened with, like they have a black base but with another color pigment in them, so they, when you use them on your eyes, they almost turn out the same. Like these 4 up here are, they don't look that similar in the pan, but they pretty much are. But otherwise, like these shades are very pretty, and the gold, and yeah, a blue and a green. You can see it, like a lot of their eyeshadows have this theme with like the blue and the green and like the gray and stuff. But they are my favorite color, so I'm totally okay with that. And also, if you don't know, like Sleek Makeup is a brand that started out to like they targeted women of color more than, or they started out like that as a brand. So many of their like eyeshadows and palettes are pretty dark, and like if they have, if there is like a color, it's very pigmented so that it would show up on like the darkest skin tones. So yeah, moving on, this one is the Sparkle 2 eyeshadow palette, which has the same color theme, but all like all shadows in this palette has some sort of sparkle in them. I don't know, yeah, you will be able to, like here you can see like the silver glitter in the purple eyeshadow. And I don't know, it's not my favorite either, but you can't get it anymore, so you won't be able to buy it even though you think it's pretty. But yeah, like these glitters in all have sort of silvery glitter in them, but it doesn't, like all on the top row and then on the bottom row this one has gold glitter. But yeah, they don't translate, like the glitter doesn't translate to the eye, so it's basically almost like a all matte palette, except for this one is shimmery and this one right here is also shimmery. But yeah, that was the sparkle too, and that one, like some of them I just keep because I have a collection and because I'm sort of sentimental about them. And then we move on to the palette called Del Mar, which you might have seen in my Product Pan eyeshadow Product Pan Roulette eyeshadow edition, because I've hit pan on this shade. But yeah, this is also super pretty, like with it's Del Mar is the like sea themed, but yeah, you have all your like light pops of color, and I really like this palette. And then the next one is the palette called Force of Nature. Yeah, before I had the Enchanted Forest, and this one is Force of Nature. And this one is an all matte palette, as you can maybe tell, or maybe not. But yeah, you have your pretty purples, and then like to set your, you've probably seen this before because I had it in my Product Pan eyeshadow roulette eyeshadow edition as well, and I hit pan on this shade right here. But it's a very pretty palette and I have used it quite a bit. And then I think, yeah, we will take the next one. This is the Aqua Collection Lagoon, which is also super pretty. I love this palette. It's so pretty. Like it has such, like this shade here is very unique. It's like a green with like a gold in it, which is very pretty. And this one is also straight up shimmer. And this one right here is also shimmery. But the other ones are sort of like not in your face bam shimmer, but more of like a sort of satin shimmer. And like this one is matte. Isn't that the prettiest matte you've ever seen? And this one is also matte, and this one here is also matte. So yeah, you have your dark purple mattes, and you have a black here which is matte, I think, or maybe it has a tiny bit of shimmer in it. But yeah, a super pretty palette, but you can't get it anymore. And then here's also another one from 2012, which is the Glory palette, which is also super pretty. Like this yellow. It's a shimmery yellow, which is so pretty. So yeah, this is this palette. It has some grays and silvers and some warm tones, and then you have all your colors like on top, sort of like your primary colors. So you have green and sort of like a raspberry pinkish red and blue and a lighter blue, and then this, and then you have another one of those matte beautiful red shades. So yeah, this one is also one of my favorites. And then moving on to another one of my favorites, which you can tell from the palettes because it's super dirty. But isn't this also one of the prettiest palettes you've ever seen? Like this shade is super stunning. It's also almost like the other one where it has like a gold and shift to it, but it's darker and like more of a turquoise. And the other one was more like a pale, like look at that. I'm dying. But yeah, this palette is super pretty because it has your like transition shade and then your warm crease shade, and then you have like all the shimmery shades you can play around with. But this one is also matte, and these two are also matte. And this like orange down here is the shimmer orange, which is also super pretty. It has sort of gotten a bit of hard pan, unfortunately. But yeah, look at that. It's stunning. So yeah, that is also one of my favorites. Like I have eyeshadow everywhere right now. Okay, so my camera shut me off, but I think I was about to talk about the palette called Supernova, which, woo, almost dropped it. it looks like this, and this is also limited edition, but I think you can still get it in some stores maybe. Like here in Sweden there are a lot of like retailers for sleek makeup, and some of them have older palettes and some of them have like newer. So yeah, just have a look around and see if you can find anything. But yeah, this one is also filled with like greens and blues and purples and neutral shades. But this one, I think this came out sort of close to when the Force of Nature came out. Like they came out almost at the same time, and this one is filled with shimmer shades and that one is an all matte shade. So yeah, this one has it's an entirely shimmery palette. And then the next one is the Del Mar 2. So before I showed you the Del Mar 1 or the Del Mar palette, which had all like the different colors, sort of like blue theme, and this one is the second. So this one has more like teals and like this really pretty matte yellow shade, which I'm obsessed with at the moment, as you know. So yeah, this is what this one looks like. I don't think you can get it, or you might be able to get it, I don't know. But yeah, and now comes two of my favorites. Didn't I talk about? No. The first one is the Showstopper palette, which looks like this. So you have like a matte peach, a matte navy blue, like this shimmery champagne, shimmery sort of silvery white. This is a bit too dark to like set my eyeshadow base, but you can use it in your crease. Yeah, it's a really, really pretty palette. And then the last one. Whew, this has been exhausting. The last palette is also one of my favorites, and you've seen it before if you've seen my Project Pan Roulette eyeshadow edition. Finally learned to say that. But yeah, it's the Candy palette, which is, yeah, I don't, here in Sweden at least, you are not able to get it, and not on their website. But if you can get your hands on it like secondhand, I would say go for it, because it's the prettiest palette ever. And today I'm wearing this shade on my lids, as you can see, and it's a very pigmented, like turquoise shade, like that. It's super pretty, and this one beside it, it's also like amazing. And this one as well, I have like a look up on my Instagram with this one, like with the roses on top of my eyebrows, which is really pretty. And then you have like your pinks, and these two are sort of matte. They are sort of almost like, this one is matte, but this one is sort of like a satiny matte, but they all both perform sort of like matte. So we have like, if you want to put this one in the crease, and then you can put this one on the lid, and same with this one, you can put this one in the crease and this one on the lid, and this one in the crease and this one on the lid, or this one on the lid, and then you can use this one, and I don't know, you can do whatever with this palette. And you can always use this one to like deepen up your outer corner, and also this one. But yeah, I really like this palette as well. That was all my 25 sleek makeup iDivine eyeshadow palettes. And yeah, I like them all, but you don't need as many as I have, because as you saw, like there are several of them that have that like blue green theme. So that's also a good thing, because you don't always feel like you missed out when you missed like the limited edition shades. But like in the older versions, they have that like very pretty red matte eyeshadow, which is stunning, that I love, and I haven't seen it like recently in any of their palettes. So yeah, I forgot to mention like the size of the palettes. I said that they contain 12 eyeshadows, and they are all like smaller than your typical like Makeup Geek, quite a bit smaller. I don't know how much is in them, but yeah, if you have as many as I do, you will never be able to go through them ever. But yeah, I really recommend, like they were bigger on YouTube a few years ago, Sleek Makeup, but then now they have sort of taken the back seat like when Morphe started to, like when they started to come out, and like that, but also because it's like hard to get in the US, and a lot of YouTubers we watch are from the US, and they have difficulty like getting these palettes. So yeah, I think that's why they are not as popular as they sort of used to be, but I still like recommend all their shadows. And like from the permanent collection, I definitely recommend the Storm palette, because I think that it's awesome, and also the Ultra Matte version 1, like this one. I definitely recommend that one. And let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, this one as well, the Enchanted Forest palette. This one is so pretty. I love this one. It sort of reminds me, let me know in the comments if you also think it reminds you of the Kylie Cosmetics, like the holiday palette she came out with. It does sort of remind me of that one. Let me know if you think that as well in the comments. Yeah, and the Storm palette, which is my favorite. So yeah, this one I would also definitely recommend, because it's super pretty, and as I said, it's super versatile. So yeah, I've sort of narrowed it down to 5 palettes. I could probably narrow it down more, but I just wanted to have like a mixture of permanent and limited edition palettes. So as I said before, my favorite is the Storm palette. Love that palette. My like second favorite or so is the Enchanted Forest, and these two I think both are like available so that you can buy them. And then from the limited, the Candy palette, it's so pretty. I love this one. And this one as well, the PPQ, the oldest I have, which is so pretty. I love this shade, and this shade is like my favorite, and this shade. Love those. Sorry. And then this one. Isn't this like the prettiest? I say that about all of them, but this one is like, yeah, it has a special place in my heart. Sorry, can't speak. But yeah, so that is my sleek makeup eyeshadow palette collection. Yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this video or if it was way too long. And let me know if there's any palettes you would like me to talk like extra about or anything like that. And I will do that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!